and freedom.
And we have a very taboo subject today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of thing that you don't speak about in mixed company. But we gonna do all that.
Or when you're dressed like this. You know, when you're prim and proper, we're having tea today and croissants and fresh fruit.
It's our tea party.
It's our tea pot party. And so this topic is, it's one of those hush hush topics. People, I think we're talking about it more now, but still women are boxed. It seems to be boxed in.
And I think that because we speak from our perspective, which is women of color, and over 40-ish, we tend to say, oh, you know, women of color don't talk about this, or African American women don't talk about these things. When in fact it may be all women that have some, depending on what your background is.
Actually, I'm going to use this one.
Oh, it's yours.
Right. So, finish saying what you were saying.
So, we want to delve a little deeper into that because we both had some growth in this area and some heart to hearts with friends of ours and our children about sexuality and some of the things that come along with it. I mean, it's different from 20 to 30 and from 30 to 40, and I imagine it'll be a little different from 40 to 50.
So this topic is sex and the single sister over 40. So we don't talk about it that much. And the thing that I really wanted to point out is that we are not one way. You know, we're dressed like this, looking all pretty today, and the expectation is different. And sometimes people see us or see their wives or their moms, especially moms.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. We don't do that.
Yes.
Moms do not do that.
Right.
I don't care what.
Even have the conversation. But remember, she's had several men say, well, you're this way or you're that way. Oh, I love that you're so sweet and you're this. And I say, hey, stop that. I say, don't box me into your perception of me in this short period, this little bit of time that you've known me, because there's so much more depth to me. There's so many layers to me, to all of us women. And I don't want to be boxed in. I want to be able to talk about sex, and you're not, well, I guess the men are not wearing their pearls, but
clutching whatever men clutch.
Yes, whatever you're clutching, you know. No, I need to be free.
There are jokes
and I am
in there.
Free. Yeah. Oh, it's loaded.
So, and that is, I like that she's saying don't box me in and to discover the layers. I think that does not happen often enough, especially as the relationships start to grow. I think a lot of times what you don't find out in the very beginning, and very beginning is relative. It could be a couple of months, it could be a year, or whatever you consider to be early in the relationship.
But I like that. I like that because you've always said that, to talk about it early. Talk about those things early, because the people are honest. It's sad that they're honest about, they don't have anything to lose.
And that's what it is, I feel, is that you don't have anything to lose, so you can be honest.
They haven't made any real investment.
And if sex is your ultimate goal with this person, be honest about that.
Yeah.
Let them know that, because they may be thinking the same thing. My ultimate goal in this relationship is to get some.
Right.
So, you know.
And that's okay. If the both of you agree, then that's okay. In fact, I put that on my dating on POF. That's let everybody know where I am. Is that, you know, we're all adults. We can be honest about what we want. You know, and if that's what you want, if you want friends with benefits, and that's another topic. That's
a whole different topic.
Yes, if you want that, and that's all you want, that's all you're looking for, you can say that, because because guess what, guys? There are a bunch of women out there that want
That's
the same
exactly
thing.
what they're
That's
looking
all
for.
they want. So you don't have to deceive anyone to get that. What else were we talking about with that time?
So sexual confidence and sexual competence, two different things. Confidence, I know what I'm working with.
I know what I'm doing.
And I've done this.
Uh-huh.
As I tell people, I'm good at what I do.
Okay.
So sexual confidence and sexual.
Again, don't box us in.
Don't box us in.
Don't box us in. We can say that because we're real women, you know, and we have these layers. So I know the pearls, they're beyond being clutched now. They pop. We got pearls just
strewn
all over the place. I like that. I like the freedom. For me, I have to be free to be able to express.
The other would be sexual competence. There are some things that, and as we grow, that does not grow dies. So as we grow, we recognize that there are some things that are directly related to our sex lives that we need to learn. So that's the competence portion. And competence is also knowing what pleases you and knowing what pleases your partner.
But you know, I think that is so important with the knowing what pleases you as a woman. I think we, you know, different reasons. We got religion, we have society, we have our family values, and we've quieted the female voice, you know, so, and made it taboo and made it shameful for her to explore her body, for her to know. And even if she knows what pleases her, she's ashamed to say it.
She's not always comfortable.
Yeah.
So that's where we speak to providing that safe space in these conversations. Because your fellas, your female, whoever, no matter what the relationship is or what you're calling it, what name you have placed on it, they should be comfortable. There should be a safe space in which they can discuss whatever it is that is meaningful to them, whether it be in the bedroom or outside of the bedroom. But it's most important that they be able to have that safe space.
And again, allowing her to be her at that time. And the her at that time could show up differently than the her that was the night before. You know, so allowing space, and we're not just talking about the women, but also for the men, you know, that we allow our men's space to be. I think that if we allowed that, this is just my opinion, I've not done the research, there would be less infidelity. If we allowed them to be expressive and be, you know, be that mandingo they want to be.
I almost said amen. We're going to say something. Or high five or whatever we do off camera. But I think that that's something to consider. I really think that's something to consider. I think because being able to be honest and open and to be able to explore those things. What's your fantasy? Let's explore that.
Let's talk about it. Let's see. Let's see if we can meet somewhere in the middle. If your fantasy is not my fantasy, I'm down a whore complex. So you don't do that with her because that's dirty. That's embarrassing. It's you know.
And that we're speaking to that thing that he thinks in his head turns him on, his fantasy, or that thing that arouses him beyond anything else.
Right. So, but he's not willing to do that with his woman. And now, when I say that, I'm not just talking about marriage. I'm not just talking about a committed relationship. I'm talking about safe. You're safe with me. I love you in the sense that I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to go beyond your boundaries. I respect you. You know, those things, because some relationships, they're not commitment. They're not marriage. They're just They're relationships where they have that kind of freedom and trust between the two, and that's good. That's if that's what you want, then so be it. That's what you do. You know,
women, I always encourage my friends that whatever it is, make sure it's what you want to do. If you want to jump from man to man to man every other night because that's your thing, as long as it's what you want to do, don't be made to feel bad about it. Don't be made to feel like you're
less.
Don't have labels attached to you,
right?
Because that's what you want to do. If there is a man that you're interested in and you want that, then go for it. Do what it is that makes you happy.
And we do that with women because of women, and that is the fear, I think, with women, even within the confines of a safe relationship. She's afraid to express her fantasies, her sexuality, she can't be free because she's afraid she's going to be labeled, even by the person who's saying, I love you.
Right.
He's going to think, I've been out there. He's going to think I've been around. Well, okay, if you've been out there, then he ought to thank his lucky stars that you know what you're doing
and
when
that
you're
you
with
chose
him. And that you chose him. So, yeah, creating that safe space is so important for both men and women, to be able to express themselves in whatever way they want to express themselves. How awesome is that?
Absolutely.
So that's the confidence piece that we were talking about, the building
confidence. That is bringing confidence into the relationship. You should be confident as an individual, but there should be confidence in the relationship that what I say is okay.
Right.
That what I tell you, I won't be judged for.
Right. And we were talking about how we get labeled, and it's such a double standard with the men. You know, they're studs, playboys, slapped on the back, and even women, we do it to ourselves because we do it, and we do it to each other. We say those, oh, she's a thot. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know what the term was, and I found out from then 8-year-old client. 8-year-old. She told me what it was. She used it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're training the babies to disrespect each other. You know, we learn that disrespect and that belittling, and from a very, very young age, from girl to girl, woman to woman. You know,
let me demean you because you're doing what you feel like you got to do. Now, of course, there are some things where then we start looking at psychological well-being, but we're not. This is not what this conversation is about.
And maybe one day we will talk about that.
But this is a woman who is sexually confident, a woman who is sexually competent. She protects herself, and she's decided, yeah, I only want you tonight.
She has chosen. She has that right.
Absolutely.
She has that right to choose.
Absolutely.
Without being labeled all of these
derogatory terms.
Yes, absolutely. So I wish that we could stop that. I really do wish that we could stop that with the and it starts so early.
It really does. It starts early, and I know some of it is fear. When we're teaching our daughters, we see a woman out on the street. Maybe she's dressed a little provocatively, and we, maybe turn up our nose at the way she's dressed,
and we tell our daughters, don't do that.
Or we've heard something about this one or that one, and we perpetuate it. Sisters, let's stick together. It does not have to be that way.
So we're gonna stop right here. We're gonna have I already said what we were eating, right?
Yes.
We're gonna pause right here. We're gonna eat a little bit, and then we're gonna meet you guys on the big purple couch.